ní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó oúnjẹ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò, pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán ńkọ́. Àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọrírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ. Gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
Iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
musiclist.com for royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos.
A lovely good morning unto your viewer and listener this morning. We want to especially welcome you once again to another fresh edition of Newspaper Review this morning. We welcome you and we say Happy New Day. I am Tenitokbe Ojoawo, and this morning co-anchoring with me is...
My name is Eneyo Asuko. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. A quick reminder that you can join us on our website. From Facebook, let's start www.facebook.com/Aloore Radio. Also, we feature on YouTube at Aloore Radio, and website still remain www.alooreradio.com, and our line remains something
09039853731.
And quickly, we're going to read out the headline at the front page of our daily this morning, Nigerian Tribune and the Punch newspaper. Before we go into the details, Samson, which one is the leading story there this morning?
Well, from the Punch newspaper, I have the story: PDP panel dumps zoning, fears not voting strength, gives exigency of times as reason for throwing open presidential ticket. Zoning committee's decision disappointing, hypocritical, Pandef Owaneze fume. PDP will lose with northern candidate M. Okowa meets Obasanjo, decries Nigeria's woes. Pages 2 and 8 of the Punch newspaper.
And still on that headline, PDP autumn panel dumps zoning through presidential contest to open with the rider. Sharaki Tambua Mohammed are yet today continue push for consensus PDP candidate meets Makinde.
While still on the Punch newspaper, Nigeria bleeds, Tinubu laments during Kaduna visit, page 8.
And on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune, political party must conduct democratic primaries, and a warned with a rider reminded on deadline for conduct of exercise.
Amwa Gege asked aides to resign ahead of primaries, page 14.
And on page 27 this morning of Nigerian Tribune's edition, 17 soldiers fell dead, 23 injured as government attack military base in Kaduna.
Reps meet service chiefs, CDS seeks support against terrorists, page, I think that again. Reps meet service chiefs, CDS seeks support against terrorists, page 13.
Also on Rep this morning, Rep procured oil production revenue generated in the last 6 months. Get that story on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune.
1,500 federal workers with fake appointment letters under probe, page 9.
10 injured as 2 NURTW fracture clash in Udo, page 27.
Abandoned projects, Senate extends 2021 budget implementation to May 31, page 22.
On page 26 of Nigerian Tribune, Amotekun soldiers clash over arrest of 2 cows in Ondo. It is a minor disagreement with resolve it, Amotekun commander.
Unemployment looms as truckers lament 50% drop in cargoes, page 26.
And on page 27 of Nigerian Tribune, 27 million people are enrolled in primary schools nationwide.
Still on the Nigerian Punch, Ogun Church scatters as preacher dies during sermon against ritualists, page 5.
On page 2 and page 21 of Nigerian Tribune, West African faces a worst food crisis. 27 million people suffering from hunger, and 11 international organizations says another 11 million may be pushed into hunger in the next 3 months. Russia and Ukraine inflation logo means in Africa. X ever wants.
IG dismisses 9 policemen for spearheading planned strike, page 13.
Lamentation as food household product prices soar nationwide on page 20 and page 21 of Nigerian Tribune.
And at this point, we will go for a quick break. When we are right back, we'll bring you details of the newspaper.
Please stay tuned.
Iṣẹ́ Olúwa kò sẹ́ni tó yé. Iṣẹ́ Olúwa ju tàbá lọ. Lọ́lọ́run ọba fi gbé àga. Lọ́lọ́run ọba fi gbé àga ò lẹ́bí ń bínú lẹ́bí ń pẹ̀gàn o.
Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká lọ. Tá a bá rẹ̀ ni tá a kórìíra. Tá a wá fẹjọ́ ẹ̀sùn Ọlọ́run wípé kó má dépò. Tọ́lọ́run wá gbégbé ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ dépò tán. Èèyàn gbà fọlọ́ ni o. Kí ló dé ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀tá ọ̀lẹ abiyamọ ọ̀tá àgàn. Wọ́n ní pàkúté ọ̀tá ẹni ègbódù ọ̀yà. Ká mẹ́yìn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún mẹ́yìn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ òsì. Ká fẹ́yìn ní délùú sẹ́yìn ẹni tí ò ní yin ni ò ní yin ni. Ẹ pé gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ò ṣe nǹkan kan kò ṣe nǹkan kan. Pẹ̀lú àfojúsùn òpó mẹ́rẹ̀ ẹni tó gbé lọ́wọ́ tó ló ń sìn fún ṣe lọ. Akitiyan Ṣèyí Mákindé lójú ọ̀nà ètò ẹ̀kọ́. Ó ṣe káńsù ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́ta tó bí ń san lórí ọmọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ó ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ dọ̀fẹ́. Ó pínwé ó tún yàrá ìkàwé ṣe. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló falẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ gíga LAUTECH padà di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ètò ìlera ńkọ́. Àtúnṣe pẹ̀lú gbégbé sóhun èlò fúnlé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé. Ẹ wo laboratory tó wà nílé ìwòsàn ní Ọ̀yọ́. Àwọn ọkọ̀ ambulance gbogbo wọ̀nyí ńkọ́. Ìgbìyànjú Ṣèyí Mákindé lórí ìkétò ààbò lè mú dán nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ńkọ́. Ó pèsè ọkọ̀ fáwọn agbófinró kí wọ́n máa fi yíde patrol ní tìbútòrò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Operation Boss tó kó fún wọn láyé tẹ̀ ìwéré ilé àtàgọ́ rẹ̀. CCTV camera lójú pópó Ìbàdàn. Commissioning of Mobile Squadron Units lágọ̀ rẹ̀. Tó wá dà bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ̀ máa gbéṣẹ́ yìí ò ṣe nǹkan kan. Nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ wa ìtẹ́tọ̀ ọ̀gbìn náà wọ ìjọba gbà. Ó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ farm estate lákòófò. Èrú àti awẹ́ lábẹ́ òsádà. Ó tún fẹ́ gbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ogún àgbẹ̀ léso kí wọ́n gbìn lóko wọn. Ó mójútó ìdókòwò tó lè máa pawó wọlé fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Asphalt àti quarry plant níjàyè. Gbogbo ẹni tó ń ṣe sí ọ̀fọ̀ ilẹ̀ rẹ̀ báyìí nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ní kíákíá ìrọ̀rùn ló ń bá dé o. Ẹwẹ́ gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ owó tó gbé kalẹ̀ fún dènà COVID-19 nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Bó ṣe ń faná ló ń ṣọ̀nà ló ń ṣomi. Owó oṣù ọjà àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ yàmọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbẹ̀tọ̀ wọn déédéé. A ní ẹ̀rìn gbòòrò wò kẹ́rì iṣẹ́ tí Ṣèyí Mákindé ń ṣe ẹlẹ́ẹ̀ráyè. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ṣé wàá rí báyìí polówó kan tẹ̀nu? Ẹ kí sáwọn tẹ̀m̀bẹ̀lẹ̀kọ ẹ̀dá tí wọn kì í ráṣẹ yọrí ẹlòmíì. Ẹ jẹ́ gbárùkù tí ẹnjìnìà Ṣèyí Mákindé kó kẹsẹ̀ járí. Lójú pọ̀nà àfojúsùn òkú mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tó gbé lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ẹ̀yin ará bí ẹ fọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀.
Ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ o. Fàjámíyà gbé màálù.
Ìkéde ìwá láti iléeṣẹ́ ìròyìn àṣà àtìrìnàjò afẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
SafeMusicList.com, royalty.
Yeah, welcome once again and thanks for stay tuned. The list story on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune this morning says, Reps procure oil production revenue generated in last 6 months. The House of Representatives on Tuesday requested details of crude oil production from October 2021 to March 2022 to determine the revenue accrued to the Federation through Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission last 6 months.
And from the Punch newspaper, Presidency PDP panel dumps zoning, fears not voting strength. The zoning committee of the opposition People's Democratic Party, contrary to the expectation of its southern members, has recommended an open race for the party's 2023 presidential ticket. The party's 37-person zoning committee, which took the decision at the Benue State Governor's Lodge at Sokoro, Abuja, on Tuesday, cited exigency of time for its recommendation. For more details,
conduct democratic primaries or face actions. INEC wants political parties. Ahead of next year's general election, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has advised political parties to ensure that the processes leading to the emergence of their candidates are in line with democratic tenets. Festus Okoye, National Commissioner and Chairman, the Information and Voters Education Committee, disclosed this in the Commission's states in a statement on Tuesday. INEC maintained that the leadership of political party must ensure that the process that will produce the candidates promotes internal democracy. Please read further on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune. 2023 conduct democratic primaries or face action. INEC wants political parties.
And from page 5 of the Punch newspaper, Kano Court jails atheist 24 years for blasphemous Facebook post. A Kano High Court on Tuesday sentenced an atheist Mubarak Bala to 24-year imprisonment after he pleaded guilty to the 18 counts leveled against him. Bala, who is the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria, was arrested at his home in Kaduna on April 28, 2020 and brought to Kano, where complaints of blasphemy and incitement were lodged against him. The defendant had in 2020 posted a statement considered to be blasphemous on his Facebook page, which caused an outrage among Muslims. For more details, turn to page 5 of the Punch newspaper.
Still on 2023 general election on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune, monitor politicians' compliance with Electoral Act, NG tells media. The President's Nigeria Guide of Editors, NGA, Mr. Mustafa Isa, has called on the media to monitor politicians' compliance with the Electoral Act as the country prepares for the 2023 general election. Isa made the call on Tuesday in Enugu during a town hall meeting organized for journalists, civil society organizations, and religious organizations in the Southeast zone. The meeting with the team, Agenda Setting for a Sustainable Democratic Culture, was organized by NG in collaboration with the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria. The NG president said that the call was necessary as some politicians could attempt to circumvent provisions of the General Election and Electoral Act to achieve their personal interests. Please read more on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune.
Still on the Metro page of the Punch newspaper, man bags life imprisonment for raping Unilag student, judge slams victim. A Lagos State Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court Ikeja on Tuesday sentenced a man, Collins Okechukwu, to life imprisonment for raping and robbing a 25-year-old student at the University of Lagos, Akoka. Delivering judgment, Justice Abiola Sholadoye, who described Okechukwu as a pathological liar, held that the prosecution proved the charges of rape and robbery against Okechukwu beyond reasonable doubt. For more details, turn to page 5 of the Punch newspaper. Man bags life imprisonment for raping Unilag student, judge slams victim.
On page 21 of Nigerian Tribune, West African faces a worst food crisis. Over 27 million people suffering from hunger, 11 international organizations. Africa is facing the worst food crisis in 10 years as over 27 million people are suffering from hunger, while an additional 11 million could be pushed to hunger in the next 3 months. It has been observed that West Africa is hit by its worst food crisis in a decade, with 27 million people going hungry. It is also projected that the number could rise to 38 million by June, considering a new historic level and already an increase by more than a third over the last 3 years unless urgent action was taken. Read further on page 21 of Nigerian Tribune. West Africa faces worst food crisis. Over 27 million people suffering from hunger by 11 international organizations.
How ex-JAMB registrar acquired NBC radio license. A prosecution witness for the Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Commission, Air Commodore Najim Sanusi, retired, told the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Tuesday that the National Broadcasting Commission has allegedly approved a license for a radio station, Ifelodun Communications Limited, in the name of a former registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, Dibu Ojeride. For more details, turn to page 7 of the Punch newspaper. How ex-JAMB registrar acquired NBC radio license.
On page 26 of Nigerian Tribune this morning, anti-grazing law, Amotekun soldiers clash over arrest of cows in Ondo. There was a face-off between officials of the Ondo State Security Network Agency and soldiers in Aloore, the state capital, over the arrest of over 100 cows that violated the state anti-grazing law. Men of the Amotekun Corps responded to a distress call from farmers in the area of the state capital, complaining over the destruction of their farmlands by some herdsmen and the cows. They rushed to the scene of the incident and arrested the cows and their owners in the farm. However, according to an eyewitness, the Amotekun prisoners were prevented from taking the cows away by some soldiers reportedly attached to the 32 Artillery Brigade Owena Cantonment at Pure. The source said that the soldier reportedly claimed that the cows belonged to their officers in the barracks. You can read more on this story on page 26 of Nigerian Tribune. Anti-grazing law. Amotekun soldiers clash over arrest of cows in Ondo.
Still on the Punch newspaper, Nigeria bleeds. Tinubu laments during Kaduna visit. The former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, said on Tuesday that Nigeria is bleeding as a result of the spate of killings across the country. The All Progressives Congress national leader urged all and sundry to join hands in the fight against banditry in the land. This is as the Kaduna State Governor, Nasser El.
On page 27 of Nigerian Tribune.
1,500 federal workers with fake appointment letters under probe. The federal government has detected over 1,500 workers who joined the federal civil service with fake appointment letters in 1 year. Over 1,000 culprits were discovered in one ministry, while 500 workers were found in other ministries, departments, and agencies through a service-wide verification exercise. The culprit would be delisted from the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System. For more details, turn to page 9 of the Punch newspaper. 1,500 federal workers with fake appointment letters under probe.
Still on page 27 of Nigerian Tribune. 10 injured as 2 NURTW fracture clash in Ondo. The leadership crisis is rocking the Ondo State chapter of Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, turned bloody on Monday evening, with about 10 members of the union sustaining injuries during a fracas in Aloore, the state's capital. It was gathered that some hoodlums numbering 50 stormed on the road, motor park in Aloore in buses, and went on rampage, injuring some members of the union belonging to the opposition faction. The hoodlums also attacked all the motor parks in the city, just as the residents scampered for safety, while shops and stores were already closed to avoid looting. Those attacked with machetes were rushed to the General Hospital in Aloore for treatment. It was gathered that a faction of the union against the imposition of the former state chairman of the union, Jacob Adebo, last week kicked against the government's plan to suspend union activities, claiming it was an attempt to bring Adebo back through the back door. Can get the rest of the gist on page 27 of Nigerian Tribune. 10 injured as 2 NURTW fracture clash in Ondo.
Zamfara ready to receive aggrieved. Zamfara PDP ready to receive aggrieved APC members. The People's Democratic Party Zamfara State Chapter said it would soon receive many groups, including aggrieved All Progressives Congress members who are planning to join the party and work for its success in the 2023 general elections. The chairman of the 14 PDP local government chairmen in the state, Nora Umar, made this known while addressing newsmen at the party secretariat in Gusau on the party's preparation to receive the groups. For more details, turn to page 14 of the Punch newspaper. Zamfara PDP ready to receive aggrieved APC members.
Yes, still on page 27 of Nigerian Tribune. Church leader slums dies while preaching on pulpit in Ogun. Another with the evangelical church in Winnie Hall, Ekwa, Onikoko, Abeokuta, Ogun State, preaching on the altar during the church service. The deceased was preaching against the money rituals when he slumped and was later confirmed dead at the hospital. The viral video of the late Balo of Onikoko community surveys on some social media platforms on Monday. Speaking in Yoruba, the community head said, "The money you make through unlawful, it will belong."
Omoagege asked aides to resign ahead of primaries. Members of the staff of the office of the Deputy President of the Senate have been given up to Tuesday to resign their appointments if they will be contested in the 2023 general elections. The ultimatum was issued in a memo by Dr. Otif Ubuzo, the Chief of Staff to the Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omoagege, dated March 30, 2022, entitled Resignation of All Political.
To the 36 states and Federal Capital Territory FCT, as much grants for this purpose.